My name is Joseph, but my nickname is Jeff. I'm 52 years old. I live in Austria, in Vienna. This is the capital of Austria. I'm working at the telco company A1, and there I'm responsible for big data and advanced analytics. I grew up in Styria. I think about 15 years ago, we settled together with my wife Sabine to Vienna, and now we live there. I started sports, I think, after school, when I went to my first job, and then I saw only sitting at the desk and no movement, and then I thought that I need some difference to only working. Then I started with mountain biking. Then I got older, and then I joined the fitness center in Vienna. There were many triathletes which was training there, and I got to know some of them. And after 2 years just watching them, I was catched by this feeling of this road bike. It was really great. Then I did triathlon for about 3 or 4 years. I did some half distances, and in the year of 2011 I got an injury on the knee, and from this year on the running wasn't possible that much, and training for an triathlon didn't make sense. But then bicycle riding was the one and only sport. Starting with 2012. There was only road cycling and a little bit running, jogging, but not that for the main part. I did the same like all others do. I do this carb loading stuff, and I have my gels on the bike, and the powder in the bottle, 100 grams of carbohydrates per liter water, and have to check how to carry all those stuff on this on these races or on these events. And really I wasn't able to do an hour of cycling without eating anything, without eating a gel or sipping from my carbohydrates in the bottles. And and when I did competitions or in races, sometimes this was this bad gut feeling, and sometimes recovery was not that good before. I often feel those muscle soreness the next day and the day after, I need to wait and there was no. I have no. How is this called in English? I didn't feel like starting training soon again after, for example, a long ride or a hard training. Then I wanted to just wait 2 or 3 days and then do the training again. 2014. Then this was a really disruption in my life, I can say. There I got a diagnosis of diabetes type 1, and it was a really when I think back to this time, I was really shocked, and I thought, why me? I always did sports, and I'm a really healthy person, and I thought I care for my body and for my mind also. And then I'm sitting there with the doctors, and he said diabetes. This was really the first moments and the first days or the first weeks was awful when I'm thinking to this time. Started to do research on the internet how one can treat this diabetes, and then I got I heard from this low carb and ketogenic diets, and there was so much information about this. The one says it's the most dangerous you can do with your body, the other says it's the best what you can do. And then I got into more details and found then really good books. And I wanted to know what can I do additionally to feel better. And then I don't know why or where I found this Vespa. And I read all those instructions on the Vespa webpage. There was a lot good information how to use it, and then I can remember I wrote via Facebook to Peter and told him that I'm a diabetic and how to use this, and he gave me some support and advice at this time. I felt really good, and then I kept using Vespa all the years along, and I did 2 tests within 3 months period. The one without Vespa, and 3 months later I did this test again, and it was really crazy. I couldn't believe it. The first time there was I used fat and carbohydrates 50%, I think 94% fat and 51% carbohydrates. Then I keep on training and took Vespa even when I was on training rides. And 3 months later I did the same test, and then there was 75% fat usage and 25% carbohydrate usage on the same level of power which I had. And I thought, wow, how is this possible? Where I subscribed for a race which is called Ötztaler Marathon. This is a 1-day race where you have to go 230 kilometers and about 5,500 meters uphill. And I did this race 2 years before. This was the next phase when I started research how metabolism works. And this was for me then the point to say, okay, let's try this. Because when if this is really true, when there is no insulin need for getting the sugar into the cells, then of course I can add some carbohydrates when I need it in the higher intensities. And in this Ötztaler Radmarathon, this was the surprise. This was the second great surprise in this Ötztaler Radmarathon, because there are three tough climbs, and I was about 20% faster on all those four climbs than the 2 years before. And at the end of last year, in 2019, I thought, okay, now I know that much about how to combine these energy sources, and I know that they don't harm me. Now let's say let's check if I can do even better. And then I subscribed to the mentorship with Peter, and and within short time I got so many new stuff which I learned and which helps me, which I couldn't imagine. I always thought I knew everything about keto and fat metabolism, but there was we had some very good coaching sessions which completely changed my performance. And within those 3 months he also prepared a training plan for me, how to train before my 2 training camps in Gran Canaria. I have 2 times this winter. I could leave the winter in Austria sitting on the bike going up, and Peter also taught me not to look that much on my sensors, my heart rates and my power meter. And when I was there, I thought, wow, half an hour faster. Or what really changes for me is this I think this additional nutrition story he told me, whole animal eating, get more of these organ meats, for example, or if you don't like this, add the liver capsule or this kind of stuff. And this was only small additional changes to do, but the outcome is really great. And I didn't get ill this winter, for example. I think I got a cold one time, but it only lasted for 2 days and then it was away, and it was really great. And with all my measurements and with all my experience I have made now in the last 3-4 months, this strategic use of carbohydrate is don't really harm my diabetes state. No problem. I think this is also the reason why all those personal bests in the last weeks or months were showing up now, because I never did this in this way before. I'm really happy to have now this to use all those secrets. And okay. I feel, maybe that sounds crazy, but I feel like 10 years younger than I was three months ago. And yeah, it's really crazy. It's amazing.